Okay, we're live now. Okay. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good night, depending on where you are. My name is Alicia Jimenez. I work at the Earth Charter International Secretariat. We are based in Costa Rica at the University for Peace campus. So this is where I am today, right now. And so this event today is associated to the UNESCO World Conference on Education for Sustainable Development, and is part of a booth that ECI, Earth Charter International, and Soka Gakkai International, or SGI, put together. And the booth is called Sharing Positive Actions on the SDGs and the Earth Charter. So this booth showcases MAPTING, which is a photo and video sharing app that helps people to share positive actions that put into practice the SDGs in connection with Earth Charter ethical principles. So today we'll be talking about that. This app was created in a collaborative effort between SGI and ECI in 2016 in an attempt to support especially young people to get acquainted with the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, and also to help people see that through daily actions and that individuals can take on a daily basis, it is possible to advance the implementation of the SDGs and at the same time put into practice their charter principles. So today we'll learn how to use MAPTING, and we also will hear from two good experiences using MAPTING. So for this, we'll have a panel. I will be introducing the panelists that we have today. The first one I would like to introduce is Alexandra Masako Gusens-Ishii, who she will talk about from the perspective of SGI about MAPTING. Hello, Alexandra, how are you?
Hello, I'm very well, thank you, and I'm very happy to be here. Thank you so much, Alicia. So as said, I'm Alexandra from SGI, and just maybe to give a few words about MAPTING from our perspective. It's really based on the core belief that everything starts with the actions of one single individual, and that each action can make a difference and inspire a chain reaction of positive change that will really start from the local community. So from that perspective, MAPTING is based on the vision that sustainability, it's not just policies, adjustment to balance better economy and environment. It's really something dynamic, and it's a dynamic challenge that everybody, all of us, have a part to take in. In that sense, MAPTING embodies in a way the fact that although the resources are finite, the human potential is infinite. And sometimes also the awareness raising, increasing awareness raising on environmental and social issues can really leave people despaired or feeling that it's overwhelming and complex. And so ultimately, all these feelings leave us unable to take action. So on the contrary, when we are inspired by concrete actions and solutions, it kind of rekindles our hope and energy to take actions ourselves. So this is really the perspective from MAPTING, which is to shift the focus on the solutions and actions taken by individuals and especially the youth. And so maybe one thing is that there was one young woman who commented, and she said that at first she really saw the SDGs as something really theoretical and complex, but as she went one by one and really read, same with the Earth Charter principles, she realized how key and important they're actually to real life. And so that inspired her to get involved in our local community. And so to conclude, maybe one thing that we have done together with the Earth Charter is that we have used MAPTING through photo contests. And the latest one was on climate change, focused on climate change. And so we really hope to continue using these means to use MAPTING and to share and collect more positive stories of change via photos or videos to increase this chain reaction of positive change. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alexandra, for this, for your kind words. And we now would like to invite Amanda Bennett. She's my colleague here as well in Costa Rica. And Amanda will show us how to use MAPTING, which I know many of you would like to learn more. Hi, Amanda. How are you?
Hi, everyone. I'm Amanda. Thank you so much for joining us today and for giving us the opportunity to share with you about this really cool app. It is one of my favorite apps on my phone, so I hope that this presentation will inspire you to also go and download it on your smartphone. So MAPTING is very easy to use. The first thing you have to do if you have a smartphone is go either to the Apple Store or to the Google Play Store. And all you have to do is search MAPTING, and it will be the first result you'll see. Here's the logo, so you can get familiar with it, and so you can download the correct one. So once you have it on your smartphone, you can choose a language so that you begin to use it in the language that you're more comfortable with. We have 5 different options that you can choose from. We have English, Japanese, Mandarin, French, and Spanish. So it's very accessible for everyone, for most people around the world. It's also a free app. So once you have the app, you choose the language, then you will create your account. You can create an account directly on the app, as you see here, with an email address, or you can use an existing account that you have. For example, you can use your Google account or your Facebook account, your Twitter account. Then you don't have to keep track of another password. Next, you will choose an SDG, a Sustainable Development Goal. If you don't know a lot about the SDGs first, well, this app will teach you a lot. So if you first want to learn about the SDGs, you can open the app and click on each SDG, read about them, read about each target, and see how they're all connected. You can also click on an icon where you can read about the Earth Charter principles, which are also very connected to the SDGs and which help us guide us ethically towards achieving the SDGs. So if you do know about the SDGs, then you will be able to start posting about your actions. So let's say that you didn't like drinking tap water, so you would buy a water bottle every time you wanted to drink water. So you buy a disposable water bottle. Well, every time you drink from that water bottle and you throw it away, you're creating more and more waste. So let's say you want to change that habit and you buy a reusable water bottle. Well, now you can tell your friends about it, you can tell your family about it, and you can tell the whole world about your new habit and what this means for the planet and the SDGs through this app. So once you have your action, let's say using a reusable water bottle, you will go and choose the SDG that corresponds. In this case, the closest SDG would be SDG 12, Responsible Consumption and Production. So you click on the SDG, then the app will let you either take a picture in the moment, as you could on Facebook or Instagram, or you can upload a picture from your phone gallery. So let's say that you had already taken the picture of your new water bottle. So you have your picture, you have the SDG, you can write a caption to tell people about your experience, and then you will select your role. So you can either say you took part in this, or you can say you witnessed this. The witness option is, let's say you go to a restaurant and you see that they are doing a really cool project to help the community. Then you can take a picture and let people know about this project as a witness. But in this case, you're taking part. You are doing your action. So you will choose, I took part in this. And you can choose to have this added, add your location to it. So you can turn this off in case you want to keep your privacy. But this is called MAPTING because it's mapping and acting. So once you add your location, we will be able to post your action. The app will post your action on a map, and people around the world will be able to see what you're doing in your community. And it's that easy. Then you click publish, and your post will be part of the app, part of the newsfeed. Once you unlock SDG 12, it will connect you immediately, automatically to the Earth Charter principles that you have unlocked. In this case, you will unlock Earth Charter Principles 7 and 3. So those principles are related directly to sustainable lifestyles. So this is a really cool learning tool if you want to learn for yourself about these targets and these principles, or if you want to use it as an educator to give it to your students or your friends. This will also help them learn more about the SDGs and the Earth Charter principles. Next, another cool feature of this app is that you can see all the other pictures that people are posting. So you can see pictures from all around the world, from Japan, from Costa Rica, from Panama, wherever you are, but also wherever you want to learn about in other countries. And you can search for images based on what you're interested in. If you're interested in selecting a country, you will see all of the countries listed here. If you are interested in searching by a specific SDG, let's say you are very passionate about the oceans, so you can choose the SDG that is all about life underwater or any other SDG. Or you can search based on the Earth Charter principles. So once you get to know the Earth Charter, you will also have a favorite Earth Charter principle if you don't have one already. And you can see which principles people are turning into action. Lastly, you can connect with other users from around the world. So let's say that you really want to learn more about women's empowerment and you don't know a lot about it, but you see that someone is posting really cool projects, really cool information about it. So you can go to their profile and learn more about what they're doing. And also you can message them through our messaging app that's built into the app. And you can also see other people's profiles, see which pictures they have posted related to the SDGs. You can build your own profile and show the world how you're not only acting for one SDG, but maybe you're even acting for all of them. And lastly, you can go on the map. So in the map, it's a world map. You can visit any country you want right there from your smartphone and see what people are doing all around the world. The closer you get to the country, the more specific the pictures will be and the more you'll be able to see. Okay, so that is everything I have to share about MAPTING. It's very easy to use once you have it on your phone, and it's really fun. So if you have any questions afterwards, you can find us on social media under MAPTING or Earth Charter International or SGI, and we will answer those questions.
Wonderful, Amanda. I think it's great to see all the features, isn't it? It's amazing how this app has been also, and is improving with the years. So thank you so much. And yeah, of course, if you have questions, we'll have some time at the end. Now I would like to invite Carola Pedreschi. She is a professor at Miami-Dade College in the US, the United States. And she has been using MAPTING with her students in her classes. So Carola, I would like to hear from your experience using MAPTING and why do you like to use it as well?
Wonderful. Will you be sharing the PowerPoint?
Okay, I can do it. So.
Okay, thank you. While you do that, I am a bilingual school psychologist, and I teach psychology courses for Miami-Dade College, the largest and most diverse college in the United States. Miami-Dade College has dedicated historically to supporting education for sustainable development. So this is not new for us. I feel very fortunate as a faculty member, thank you, to work in an environment where professors are allowed to explore, innovate, and it's part of our culture. So the title is MAPTING, Reveal the Change Maker in Every Student. We know that every student is a change maker. We have seen it, we have experienced it. So I started using MAPTING, first of all, because we know now that the future of education has arrived, that lecturing in the classroom is a thing of the past. And teachers and professors, we need to get with the digital technology. I do want to mention the sad component of the digital divide global-wide and even within the United States. But if we can use it, by all means, I am a #1 fan of MAPTING, and I'm going to share why. I'm going to start with sharing just 1 minute I would love for you to meet some of my students, which shows an example of immersion experiences that are provided by the Earth Ethics Institute. And it's right here at the bottom. Let's see if I can go ahead and, yeah, open that link just for 1 minute. Maybe, yeah, there.
Carola, I think we cannot see your screen because I am sharing, so I'll stop sharing. And do you want to share your screen to see your students?
Well, that's fine. We'll just move on. That's technology.
Okay.
Yes. I'll just share this. An immersion course is where we take students. The college provides the funding to take students to learn about nature. We must help students, especially students who live in the cities, to connect with nature. How can we sell sustainability if students have not been exposed to nature, and many of them have not? So let's go to the next. The presentation is about who, what, when, where, how, and some student reflections of how I have implemented MAPTING, which I started implementing in 2019. I'm not able to move forward. Okay.
No. Yeah, I am presenting, so you need to tell me when to move forward.
Right.
Okay.
We'll navigate together. I would love for you to meet Emily. Emily just graduated, and in the change-making component of Miami-Dade College, we have created change-making student profiles. Emily attended one of my honors college classes where I have implemented MAPTING. And this is a little bit about her. This is the end product, the end student, the transformation. Education is no longer about information, knowledge, change. It is about transformation, and it is about urgency of transformation. Emily's academic pathway is in the biological sciences. Her UN SDGs of interest were number 3, good health and well-being, number 4, quality education, number 5, gender equality, number 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions. So you can tell that Emily knows her SDGs. She describes herself as futuristic harmony, learner, and developer. We work mostly with youth, and part of these age group challenges is to define their identity. So when we educate for sustainable development, we're also helping students build their identities for now and for the future. I would like to share some of the words. I've had the opportunity to work on various volunteer and research projects, from human trafficking to food waste to education. Miami-Dade College is an institution that offers opportunities. And on change making, she says, change making is a personal process of discovering what you're passionate about and work to actively create change. Now, these are the students of the present, and these are the students of the future. This is what I work for, and these are my goals: to educate students who are like Emily. Emily's not alone. All our students are pretty much headed in this direction. Next, please. So I have implemented MAPTING in only so far honors college. I teach honors college psychology courses in English, and I also teach honors college dual language program courses in Spanish. The honors college is a part of the Miami-Dade College where we recruit talented, bright students. It is teaching this group of students. It's like driving a Ferrari. I don't know what that feels like, but it's awesome. It's awesome. It's a gift to be to work with students at this level. These courses are designated as a global sustainability and earth literacy studies. I piloted 3 classes for a total of 53 students, and they posted 263 sustainable actions in those 3 classes in MAPTING. So we see evidence, we have data. So let's go to the next slide. Psychology is a science, a social science, and psychology helps promote education in sustainable development. MAPTING has enhanced course content, transforming content into applied psychology. Students want to know what's in it for me. What is the relationship between what we learn in the course to the real world out there? And MAPTING is the real world out there. MAPTING also supports the American Psychological Association's mission and the guidelines for the undergraduate psychology major. Next. Miami-Dade College, these are some of the structures that support faculty and students. MAPTING and Education for Sustainable Development supports MDC's learning outcomes. It also supports the missions of the Earth Ethics Institute, the Institute for Civic Engagement and Democracy, and Impact, Change-Making, Social Innovation, and Entrepreneurship. Faculty are very fortunate to work for an institution that supports education for sustainable development. Next. Okay, I would like to recommend at this point an excellent publication from UNESCO entitled Education for Sustainable Development Goals, Learning Objectives, published in 2017. I added the link, but it is available in UNESCO's website. This is a how-to, a guideline to help professors, teachers all over the world to start teaching for sustainable education. I found the 3 domains, and MAPTING and the projects that I create and develop for my students support the 3 domains, which are cognitive, social, emotional, and behavioral. And here on the left, you will see a posting of one of my students from the Spanish psychology class, Guillermo Sáez, Caminata y Recaudación de Fondos para apoyar a St. Jude Children's Hospital. These are students who influence each other in the Honors College to be involved in sustainable actions. And at the bottom, you see, as Amanda shared, how ECI posts related principles and SDGs. And they also have the opportunity, like social media, Instagram, and Facebook, although youth are not in Facebook, that's for older people like me. And you also have the opportunity to write comments. Professors provide feedback, peers can provide feedback, and I would like you to pay attention to the affective state of the students. They don't look happy, do they? They look happy, and that's one of the perks of MAPTING. So here on the right, you can read some of the benefits or supporting variables of the cognitive domain. If you want to be a cool professor, all you need to do is ask the students to take their cell phones out and to add an application. They're really, really wondering, how is it that a professor knows something about technology that they don't know? So they're very curious and very excited. It is new. It caters to students' short attention span. It is intuitive. I am not the most technologically savvy professor at Miami-Dade. So if I learned how to use MAPTING on my own, believe me, any teacher, professor can use it. It eliminates lectures. Lectures are a thing of the past. The classroom is in MAPTING. MAPTING teaches students about the Earth Charter's principles and the SDGs on their own. They learn it and they help each other. MAPTING also helps develop some cognitive skills, like scientific reasoning, critical thinking skills, problem solving, creativity, etc. Moving right along, let's talk briefly about the social-emotional domain. Please pay attention to our wonderful posting from, again, Guillermo Sáez. He's one of my MAPTING champions. Mr. Sáez created an activity, an event to help at La Pequeña Habana, which is a lower income, mostly Hispanic residents. And he invited some of his classmates, my students, to help.
Carola,
yes.
We are up on time, so maybe you can wrap up.
Okay,
10
great.
minutes goes fast.
Oh, it does. Okay, so MAPTING supports also, let's go to the next one. Behavioral domain, MAPTING and my projects support ESD's behavioral domains. Let's go to the next one. And they also meet key competencies, which you can read on your own at another time. Let's go to the next one. When and where, MAPTING is a classroom. In order to teach sustainability, we need to go out there to nature. So use your campus grounds, immersion courses, and also communities, local, state, national, global. Next. This is one example of a project entitled Sustainable Development Actions Empowerment. And we don't have enough time to go over that, but MAPTING is a way for students to demonstrate that they are learning. Let's go to the next one. They're also required to write a research paper and to separately write a reflection. I want to know how this MAPTING and teaching ESD is affecting my students, how they're being transformed. So we have Alejandra Bolufé picking up trash around the campus lake, and also Karen Rodriguez, human rights presentation at Hialeah Senior High School, promoting students to teach in this, to teach these rights to their friends and family from other countries. Next.
Thank you, Carola. I think we need to close now.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, is there just maybe one sentence you want to say to finish?
Yes, MAPTING has changed, has transformed how I teach, how I educate students. And if you empower professors and teachers to use MAPTING, they can in turn empower students. So I am a MAPTING believer. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carola. And sorry, this is a 30-minute live event, so yes, time is our challenge today. Yes, so I would like to bring to the floor Raoul Santamaria. He will also share with us their experience with MAPTING in a different setting here in Costa Rica. So Randall, I cannot see your screen, sorry. Well, I can see the screen, but okay, good. You can start now, Randall.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Raoul Santamaria I'm director of Guarabito, a community-based organization located in Costa Rica. And I want to thank you for this great opportunity to share our experiences in our local communities using MAPTING in our educational activities. We seek to form leaders and agents on change, working for building peace through conservation and facing climate change for sustainable development. With MAPTING, we promote the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals and the principle of the Earth Charter. With the MAPTING app, we have found a very useful and innovative way to share pictures and videos about the action campaign for the Sustainable Development Goals and its relationship with the Earth Charter principles. Here you can see some pictures of the application, from the application. We call it Innovation in Action. There is a picture with the kids in the SDGs bootcamp. It was in a couple of years ago. And we try to share all the activities we promote in different communities as workshops with kids and different ages. Also, we do river cleanups, and we celebrate a World Migratory Bird Day in different communities. And we want to involve you to participate in our movement in Costa Rica. And we would like you to join us, participate and sensitize more people around the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Randall. That was very good with timing as well. So yeah, this was a different setting. With the Guarabito, they work with communities and they do with children in children in social risk, for example. So they are connecting their actions with and sharing what they're doing with in MAPTING. And with Carola, that we'll share with your presentation, Carola, and we maybe need to do an event with you just to share all your experience as well with MAPTING. So, well, I think now the time is running up, but I want to see if there's any question. I don't know, Amanda, Alexandra, do you see any questions coming from? We are as well live in YouTube, so it's great to see all of you there in YouTube. Okay, so let's see if we have. So we have here Sadia Al-Salhili. We are working on how to integrate sustainability and education in Iraqi school in Mosul in Iraq. Well, that's wonderful, Sadia. We'll make sure to continue and to be in touch with you. And you develop a manual for teachers. That's great.
It's our pleasure to contact with you, and this is actually amazing application, and we will use it in our schools that we are implementing sustainability in education. It's wonderful because kids like this applications a lot, so they will be using it, and actually I benefit a lot from this session. To use it and also to teach the kids how to use it.
Wonderful, Sadia. So you are a school teacher in Iraq?
No, I'm head of Together to Protect Human and Environment. I'm engineer, chemical engineer. But we have projects about child rights to education. We focused on environmental education and sustainability in education. We train trainers from the teachers, about 300 teachers from Mosul. We train them on a manual that we developed, making use of the Earth Charter and UNESCO manuals, and we do our own, it's more applicable ones. They can use it for all subjects and for all grades. And we train trainers from the teachers, and those trainers train other teachers in Mosul.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your experience. I will make sure to. This motivates us to maybe organize a larger event, bringing more experiences that how people are using MAPTING. Okay, so if there are no further questions.
If I may, Alicia, I would love to meet Sadia and offer us to communicate and share what our institution is doing, has been doing for a long time. So I love connecting and community building. So maybe we can share at some point our email addresses.
Yeah, here in the chat. Okay, so I like to close this with Alexandra and Amanda. If you can share some of your final words here today. The floor is yours.
Sure, I can go ahead. Thank you. Thank you, Alicia. I just want to encourage you to download the app. You never know who you will influence, and tell your friends about it. A lot of you are here probably because you are taking action for the environment, for sustainable development. So now what we have to do is go out there and share those actions with the world so they can be replicated. Thank you.
Thank you so much to everyone for attending today. Yeah, it's been really wonderful to also hear from you within the chat as well. And yeah, we're just looking forward to just increasing waves of positive actions and stories that we can really get inspired by via MAPTING. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your time, for being here with us. And I hope you continue to benefit from this UNESCO World Conference on Education for Sustainable Development. And we'll try to keep in touch, and hopefully we'll organize another event to expand more on how MAPTING can be useful in many different settings. Have a wonderful